It's like a surreal. I'm videoing you take a picture of that.
Wow.
I know.
So that means I'm gonna be on TV?
You're going to be on TV.
Oh my god.
If the laser would just hurry up and finish. I guess I should have waited till it was done. That would have made sense.
Yeah.
What size speaker is that? That is a 6.5.
What kind?
This is what size. Let's say what kind.
Oh, you had to say the whole thing.
What kind is it?
It's a Morel Carbon Elite.
Morel Carbon Elite.
All backwards. Elite Carbon.
No, either way, it kind of gets the point across. How exciting is that? So we have a 6-inch. This is a Dodge Ram. So we made a 6.5 or 6x9 to 6.5-inch bracket. And we also made the tweeter mount here. It sticks out of the bracket about, it's 3/4 of an inch. This will stagger to fit into, because if you'll notice there's more gap here and less gap here. That's so that it'll line up with the hole, this hole on the door, even though it's like this big grill. If you come around to the backside, you'll notice that it's really only on the bottom, which is funny because the way the factory speaker sits, it sits even lower. So it's almost like the grill isn't lined up with the speaker. And then what just got done cooking in here is those 6.5 to 6x9 adapters. There we go. So this is going to be for the back door. And the back door is going to be a set. That was cool. Anyways, the back doors are going to be Morel Integras. So let's go over here and we'll take a look at one that's already finished. So this is the front door on the passenger side, and this is the tweeter for the passenger side. So this, as you notice, it's not centered on the mount because the hole isn't centered. And these are the little factory guys here. So where these actually sit in the door, it's more or less covering, like if you do a side by side, you'll see that like the tweeter is almost covered by the door panel itself. So anytime you're doing this and you have a factory door panel, make sure you check, because I mean it's literally sitting like this from the factory. Goody, that's really kind of stupid. Same thing with the mid-range. Make sure it is centered properly. We did a lot of testing to make sure it, obviously this ended up right in the center, which is cool. But in a lot of them, especially the older body Dodge Ram, you need to go towards the top because the bottom is covered by the grill sits like this over it. So checking that, put a light behind it so you can see. And then for the dash, I think the dash, did I pull it out? Oh, I pulled it out. I put it back in here. So this is the little Morel that's going to go up in the dash. And the Morel gives you these cool metal brackets here and here. And this is the easiest one so far. This just drops into place and that's it. I don't have to do anything else to it. But of course it, took me a minute to figure that out. I did have to trim these little brackets, but other than that, this will go right in and the factory grill goes right over it. I was like, whoa, well, that's crazy. Let's head back to the back of the vehicle. This is the Dodge Ram with the Harman Kardon system in it. And this is, so we wanted to, let me go around the other side, it's a little bit easier to see. We needed to test fit the seat because he's putting a giant box in. He's doing some T1s and not the trucks. So we got this seat kit to raise the seat up. Of course, he ordered the wrong one, so we don't have all the bolts we need. So that means I got to make a trip to Home Depot. We don't have these front bolts, but this is all lifted up. And that guy there is the total bummer. That is a battery pack for the car, just for stop start and all those other fun things. And that, the big piece that covers all this, it has to go back in, because this is the 60-20 or whatever, 80-20, 60-40, 60-40, sure, we'll go with that. Because there's an armrest that's right here and it folds down, so you're gonna see this. So we have to kind of pay attention to how all this amp rack is gonna go. We've already pulled that out, because we're gonna need that area. And it leaks too, which is kind of cool. But so the amps that are gonna go here are a bunch of Rockford amps, big AB class Rockford Power Series. And they're all the same size. So we have two 404s, a 1000. We have, this is our foam tape. We have the Audison Virtuoso, as well as the WaveTech Bass Restore. So all this stuff is, the gentleman who owns this is our rep for all these brands. That's why there's such a variety of brands, so to speak, because he reps all of these brands: Morel, Rockford, Audison, WaveTech. And he doesn't rep amp, but yeah, so that's why there's such a plethora of goodness. Now Fernando's got the door on. He's trying to get the door on. One other thing too is, for the sound treatment, Rockford makes HushMat, which is this stuff right here. Of course, I'm holding the phone backwards. So Rockford makes the HushMat, and we have 2 boxes of it. We're on the front door, and we're almost out of one, so we're gonna have to get some more. It's an aluminum based. It's got some butyl rubber. What did you think about this stuff, Fernando?
Which one?
The HushMat.
It's fine.
Yeah, went on good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy? Oh, you put in an extra screw?
No, I'll put it in there.
So while he's getting that on, if you'll notice, it has this annoying piece here. You can keep going. So you need to unscrew the window, and that's what these are here. They were holding the window up. He just hasn't taken them off yet. And this will get that so he can come around here and, you know. And if you come over here. So these doors aren't done yet. That's next on the list. Did you get the plug in? Oh yeah, okay. Look at that. Line up all your clips, get it in. So now we can just double check our area here. Let's see if I can see. We can kind of
go closer to the grill.
Yeah. There you go. So you can see the tweeter lined up. There you go. So the tweeter, as you can see, is right there in the center of the opening of the hole. So this whole top half here, this whole inch in the top, this is solid. So if you're not careful, no, we got it. Yep, that looked good. And if you come down to the mid base, you can see where that mid base centers up with the door. Yeah, right where you need it. Isn't that exciting? Woo, yeah, so excited. But those are the things you got to check when having to build mounts for your speakers. Don't always just assume that the manufacturer has your best interests at heart. There's a lot of cars where half the speaker's covered by the door panel. That sucks. Corvette, and then, you know, some of the German cars and whatnot. So due diligence. But like I said, like you saw where that tweeter was sitting in the door, and that was up in the hole towards the top here. So it mounts just like this, which means that this guy, half of the speaker, probably the part where the foam was crushed right here, that's all you're getting. You're only getting half of the speaker through that door. But the nice thing is there's 4 of these in the front of the car. So it's a coaxial 3-inch, and there's 4 of them in there. We are not going to be posting a video of this on YouTube, so if you have any questions, now would be the time to ask. We've already done this RAM, and we've already made all these brackets, so this system pretty much already exists. Up there was a 911. We did some Audio Frog and some DD audio amplifiers. It's the exact same system. Didn't want to do it. Will then A to B work with the factory Ford Sony system? No. A to B is for the new BO system. The Amp Pro AP4 FD21 or something like that is for the Sony system. The main difference between the two, if you're trying to figure out, is if you look back at the amplifier, if there's a blue USB connector plugged into the side of the amp, that is A to B. If there's no USB connector connected at the amplifier, that is the previous generation, which is an Amp Pro. Keep it down. I know I can't hear Dean. Any new 911s on the horizon? Thankfully, no. No, there hasn't been any that we've had to deal with, so that's kind of nice. Elate's twice as nice as hybrids? I mean, yes. They're, you know, that's the problem, is that it's like, where do you see the value? The hybrids are phenomenal. It's like, yeah. But there are differences between the two. So what we have, I will show you. So if you look at the hybrid, standard treated cone, carbon, surround rubber. The baskets are actually identical. This has the same basket, but you can kind of see it's a smaller magnet structure as opposed to this one. As you can see, it fills the whole gap there. I have to really turn it to get in there. Higher power handling because of it. And if you look at that copper inside of there, that is the voice coil for the Elate. And then we'll come around here and we'll look at, as you can see, much smaller voice coil on the hybrid. This is an Integra, which means it has the tweeter located here. And when you look at the tweeter like Morel, as you notice, the tweeter is almost identical. It's the mid bass you're paying for. That's where it's at right there. So those are the differences. If you feel that is enough in your world, go for it. I have another project, 86 Jeep CJ7, same basic setup as the video from 2018 you did on YouTube. Oh, very nice. I have no feedback on that. Elates require power. They do. Still booked 2 to 3 months? I believe so. Hi. Let's scoot down here. So are the coils wound on the inside? Yeah. So the magnets, actually, yeah, because the magnets are on the inside. And so, yes, they'd be, yep. You know, I will tell you this. If you want to see a blown apart picture of a Morel, head over to morelhifi.com. They do a really good job of dissecting the speaker and showing you all the pieces to it. So if you're curious about the construction of the speaker, just dive into the page a little bit and you'll be like, oh, and it's all there. So it's kind of nice. Definitely kind of nice. All right. I think that's it for today anyways. Next up is I have to find some place to put the controller for the Virtuoso, the bass knob, and of course figure out how the heck I'm going to mount these amplifiers in the car, which is going to be fun after I get done mounting all the speaker brackets. Recommend single channel amp for a center channel. Gosh, you know, and that's one of the things I complained about to these manufacturers. That's why I would like a 3-channel amplifier or a 5-channel amplifier that doesn't have a sub, or a 7-channel amplifier, because there's no great like amplifier to do that. I will say this, the Audio Control ACM 1.300 is a full range mono amplifier. The problem is it's 300 watts at 4 ohms, which is way too much power for most center channel amplifiers. even if you turn the gain down, you know, if you got a hot output on a DSP, it's still going to be way too much power for that. So it kind of sucks. You think anything else, Fernando?
Right now?
Yeah.
No.
He says no. Can you recommend a good shop in New York? What's Frankie's place? 12 volt. What's his?
Group.
12 volt marketing group here on Instagram. Go follow them. Send Frankie a text. He's a rep out there in that area. And if he knows a good place for the brands that you're trying to have installed, he'll point you in the right direction. So 12 volt marketing group. And go from there. Apicilla is nice, and that's one of his clients, so he might recommend that. But, you know, give him a shout out and see if he can help you, because, you know, Nick might be a little bit more than what you're looking for. He might be exactly what you're looking for. So give him a call, find out. And I think that's it. Tonight is Monday, which means we will be on Facebook at 6:30, having all kinds of fun. Is it wet?
It is.
Yeah, see, that's weird. Because the back was wet too. New cars, they suck. We'll be 6:30. We'll be answering your questions, having a fun time on Facebook. So make sure you head over there. And if you have any questions about this truck, feel free to ask tonight, and we'll do what we can. Are you guys doing? What are you guys doing for a new Accord with premium audio? Anything other than Metro? Actually, we've just been integrating into the factory DSP, just doing it old school style until, you know, the Metro piece starts to function the way it's supposed to. I mean, according to them, I don't think we're ever going to get anything other than what it's doing now. So, I don't know. I talked to them about other things this weekend, but, you know, it's a tough one, man. Definitely a tough one. But hey, that's just the way it goes. One of the DSPs we have been using, of course, is the Alpine. The new model is the PXE0850X, and it has basically what you're looking for is a DSP that has at least 6 discrete inputs, because you have to grab the center, the sub, left and right tweeter, left and right front mid. The nice thing about that piece is that you can use its 8 by 25 watt amplifier to power the center and the component rears. So that'll take 5 of its amplified channels and power back that up. That way, because you need to retain the center channel, that way you can do it. You have its own amp. It's all level controlled. It makes life super easy. And it sounds wonderful. It does. It really does. I know.
Yeah?
I don't know, man. It's Monday. You know, Monday's tough.
It is Monday.
Monday is tough. You know, I wish I had more to talk about. Have you guys ever seen a T110? Has anybody ever seen a T110 from Rockford?
Yeah.
You want us to unbox one for you? We got one. This is getting 2 T110s in an MTI box. We don't have the MTI box yet, because that was his job, but we do have the 10s. If you'd like to see them, we can unbox it for you. I got a knife right there. Anniversary Epicenter, Happy Camper I Am. Well, hey, you were able to find one. Awesome. Let's take a look at this woofer. Heck yeah. All right. Well, if you ask, we shall do. So as you can see, it comes in a giant box. Ooh. What kind of paper we got there? Show the paper. So you get this, and then if you flip it over, it has a sticker on the back. We're trying to conserve on nonsense.
Yep.
Don't rip the bag. He can actually rip the bag on this one. Comes with the owner's manual, which gives you a cool picture of a blown apart of the speaker, kind of breaking down all the pieces and whatnot. And then if you open it up, it gives you recommended enclosure sizes, your teal small parameters, how to change the jumpers on the side of it, which we'll show you once we get it out, because it's kind of cool what they do with theirs. And of course, all their, please read me stuff. It's in 10 different languages. Most people won't either.
Antes de instalación, desconecte la terminal negativo de la batería de la...
You need help, man. Flip it over onto the ground. It'd be easier to get out. There you go. Big pieces of foam. Big pieces of foam. Turn it on its side. No. Flip it. There you go. So in the top, you'll notice, go back to that. So grab this, and if you notice, it says 4 ohm, 1 ohm, and it has these awesome screws. Don't lose those. You get your grill in the box, which honestly is like the best ever.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Ooh. All right, set it over here. So this is it. This is the big boy. Has that standard Rockford style mounting. It's aluminum cone, giant butyl rubber surround. But it has this guy here. Has these nice push style terminals, which are awesome. Vented pole piece. This is actually vented out of the bottom. Wire goes into here. But this is fun. So what you do is you pull that. And if you'll notice, oh my gosh, what are those? Those are fuses. Blue is 15, so this has a 15 amp fuse built into it. But you'll notice all of these terminals. So now if I flip it and I put it at 1 ohm, it's going to join the voice coils together in the appropriate way. And you'll have a 1 ohm speaker now.
Yeah. And then you can flip it as well.
Now, for those of you that are like, oh man, well, open this one for me. In the box, like if you blow those, for one, you should never blow those, but if you do, they give you the emergency jumpers. I don't know why they do this, but in this is the emergency. Now greens are 30 amp fuses. So it comes with 15s, but it gives you these 30s. And there again, these are emergency, and then you put them in the same way. If you put them in like this, it's 4 ohm. If you put them in like that, it's 1 ohm. We're gonna set these over here, and we're gonna put those 15s back in. But if you have a T-series woofer, T1, T2, or T3, and not the shallow mounts don't do this, but if you're like, if they stop working, chances are good, you have a blown fuse, those will come out, pull apart. Got a giant voice coil inside of there. Ooh, you kind of see it's like looking through like some Star Wars style prison. You see the copper vents. Ooh.
Beautiful.
And there's holes in the side of the cone. Over here, there's one there, and that's for pumping air in and out. So this is it. This is this giant woofer. We have a temporary box that he brought, which is that one. And supposedly these are going to fit within 1/4 of an inch, but I doubt it. But the best feature about this, in my opinion, is the big gas grill that you get to put on here. But let's be honest, most of the time you're going to put these in a 212 box firing backwards. This is an upgrade from a P3, so this would be the first woofer in the line up from a P3 to get you into a big cast basket. And it comes with this awesome grill. Because it's an aluminum cone, like a P3, nothing sucks worse than denting the cone. Like, that just ruins your day.
Oh, scratching.
What happened to the Morel amp review? We're waiting for Casey to send us an amp. Another amp.
Another one. Because one is not enough.
One is not enough. So as soon as that comes in, we will do it. Apparently he's taking his time getting us that second amplifier.
Come on.
I know. That grill is huge. And the grill is huge because if you look, you gotta remember, you got a heck of a lot of excursion here, and you don't want it to smack the grill.
Now, if you're hungry and you're gonna...
No, I was screw that. I was gonna say if you're next to a river.
No, I was thinking of lettuce, you know, just put your lettuce, water.
I was thinking if you're next to a river, you could do some gold mining.
You can do that too, or gold. Yeah.
Do we sell a lot of these subwoofers? No, we do not sell a lot of these subwoofers. Unfortunately,
I don't know why, man. I like it.
Because a lot of people don't understand the value in this.
How much is it? Oh my God! What?
Yeah. So to each his own as far as what you see value with in your life. But these do cost more than those standard other drivers that you can get for less. There is if you saw, there are little gray bumpers on the bottom. Those do need to come off. These little pieces here, they're just covering screws. That's so when you're setting it down, they are awesome. There's no question about it. Well, there you go. we unboxed the new
T1.
They're not new. They're not. I don't even know why I said new, but we unboxed them.
Well, they knew because they knew.
Oh, they're brand new. Yeah, they're brand new. And he didn't rip the bag, so good for you. Can't wait to hear them.
I'm so happy.
I'm honestly, I'm kind of curious at how good these are going to sound because
I just want to hear this truck right now.
we didn't design the stereo. I'm just going to say that this had nothing to do with us. This is totally the rep. The rep designed this. Will the T1 sound better than the P3s?
The T1, yeah.
In theory, yes. But then again, application. Application is everything. You could buy the baddest bitch in the world, and then you put it in the application that's not made for, and it doesn't sound as good. He's going with these. I don't know why. And we'll see how they sound. If they sound amazing, I'm excited. Any new toys added to the collection? No, not really. No.
But I'm looking for some of that.
Fernando got his Epicenter the other day.
Yeah.
Where'd you put it?
I got it right here.
So he got his. Don't lose the blue piece of paper.
I'm not.
Because apparently that's what Chris Bennett put on all of them. So like he had the one, I saw the one, Steve had the one that said Steve. Yours says Fernando. I didn't get one because I got a prototype. So those of you that are curious, there was 3 prototypes that all lit up orange. One of them lights up blue, but didn't have none of those came in boxes. So this is a finished product that they also had a couple of the Quad Zeros made for final inspection. So as a manufacturer, they send you product all along the route. So the best example of that is like if we were to look at like the IRTA and its evolution of product. We'll do this and then hold on. And the it's no different, but so to give you an example, the first IRTA looked like this. Came to us, looked like this. It says 5-star on the circuit board. And we made some changes from this to when it came with this. Actually, it stayed the same. This was the first iteration of the case, which as you can see, it didn't fit for crap and it sucked. And I was like, hey, this sucks. So then they went back to the drawing board and that's where they came out with this. And as you can see now, it has an edge there and it's thicker. And there was one version of this between here that we didn't get. It just went to the engineer and he was like, no, this doesn't work. And then we have the final. And if you look at the final, for that one, we actually figured out the color because you can see the color's a little strange here. And this one just kind of looked a little too dark. And now we have the finished product with the finished red, and this is everything that we wanted. And as you can see, this it's just a different product altogether. But yeah, so each time you get another sample. So with audio control, they got 3 samples. So when you looked at the one that I had with the orange lights, that was a sample. And then the next sample was going to be for shipping approval. So, and there again, that's like Steve got one, Fernando got one. I don't know who else got the other. They probably kept one for themselves, I would hope. So there's differences. The difference is obviously like mine lights up orange, his is going to light up blue. Plus his came in a box. I didn't get a box for mine. Mine literally just was like, here.
Well, you took it from over there.
Yeah, I took it. I literally I just took it off the shelf. Hey, Brandon, I'm taking this. Yeah. Which one is that? Because the other one they had actually had a bunch of wires and stuff hanging out of it. Mm-hmm. So, what's the best fans to cool down my amps? Stinger makes these really cool squirrel cage fans that are nice, that aren't too big and cumbersome and look silly. I guess would be these. But check out Stinger. Like Google Stinger fan. Good afternoon, fellas from Chicago.
What's up?
What's going on? Well, there you go. So two things that we learned here today.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think there's a sheet that's in yours that says has like Chris Bennett signed it and all that fun stuff.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I'm gonna open it.
Maybe we'll open it tonight.
Yeah.
We'll open it tonight on the show.
Yeah.
We'll compare it to mine. Ooh, we should power them up too,
That
so
would
you
be
can
good.
see the blue.
Yeah.
I want to do that in a standalone video though.
Well, we can still do that.
I don't know. We'll see. Sparked Innovations has a nice fan for amps. That they do. Good call. I forgot about those guys. Sparked Innovations.
Okay.
They make the... he does a bunch of like oddball like relays and like speaker relays and acrylic, and he comes out with some neat stuff. A lot of it's for the SPL guys, but
I mean, if
that's
it
why
works, it works.
Yeah,
Why not?
Yeah.
Definitely.
So Steve makes SMD has the fan controller for temperature.
He makes
That's
that too, yeah.
But most of the time when we have to do stuff, we use the Stinger fan.
Closer, they're right here.
Then we have them in stock. Most of the time. Most of the time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. There you go. That's it for now. Join us tonight at 6:30. We'll have a lot of fun. You guys have a great rest of your day. This has been 5 Minutes of 5 Star.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. I love Instagram.
Really?
Yeah. That's about as... Yeah. I hate it. I know. That was me being facetious. I don't like Instagram. I hate the fact they keep updating it, and it's just like, make up your mind, guys. Make up your mind. I think they just change stuff to change stuff. You know? It's like, there's nothing wrong with Instagram, and then they want to move stuff, and it's like, stop moving stuff. It's not that, like...
You want to make it...
What's up? Sparkling Clean Auto. What's going on? So hey everyone, as we can see, Fernando having a good time here, adding some Roadkill Ultimate to the Ram door panel. He is making his door panel. These doors are going to weigh a ton when we're done.
They are.
But thank God it's a truck and it has a sturdy hinge in it.
Yeah.
You know, remember that one guy that commented after we got done doing, he's like, oh my gosh, the doors on that are going to fall off in a year.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yes.
Are you like that dumb? I mean...
Yeah.
Okay. People are special. Hey, Morel, what's happening?
Hey.
Look at that. Ooh. This is Jackie's car. Look at that tweeter. Look at that. Ooh, doesn't that look neat? Anyways. More Morel. Sound treatment.
Yeah.
This is the... Which door? Oh, this is the passenger front. So we're on door number 3.
Door number 3. And in the...
It's okay. Have you done the door yet? No, you haven't done the door yet. You're just doing the door panel. You wanted to change it up a little bit? My butt was in the way? All right, let's go see why I was in the way, because apparently he's complaining I was in his way. My task today was twofold. Hold on. Where is...
You need a light?
I need a light. Isn't there a light over here?
Of course.
I'll just...
How old the lights over there?
I don't have any of the lights over here. So last night before we left, it was getting... The DRC, it's dusty. Getting the DRC mounted into the sunglass holder. It seemed to be the only place we could do it. So we have the cool, that's the mirror. It goes up in, it's nice and flush. Goes in, opens up. Ooh, nice and slow. I'm not patient. So here we go. Now the secret to this, I'm gonna let you guys on the secret. So it's laser cut. So you can see it's perfect. And it is tight as could be. The problem you run into with these eyeglass holders is fastening them in. So behind this is a piece of 1/2 inch. And if you look right there, see that little guy right there? That little flush, so flush. There are 2 screws, one on either side, flushed in, painted black. And that is what is holding that in place, along with it being laser cut and ungodly tight. The plastic's still on here. So that is part 1, and you'll notice the cable's just hanging because we needed to find out how far the cable would go so that we could figure out where we were going to put the DSP. So after I got that done last night, we put the seat back in so we could figure out how much room we had because we had all those amplifiers. And yeah, hopefully he doesn't have any sunglasses. It was his idea. That's where he wanted it. Because there was really nowhere else to put it. So then my next task was this monster right here. So if you recall, we have Power Series amplifiers with BD1000, 2 404s, AB class, old school tech, Virtuoso, Wave Tech Bass Restore. These are all the products they represent. And let's just flip it around. So I busted out my big shoehorn, and we ended up with this. The piece of carpet has to go back in because there's a fold-down armrest, and these are magnets here for it, and then these two things. This will all go back in. I just got done recutting this because we put the lifts and the 2-inch lift. There's another 2-inch lift there. And so these had to go up, so I had to recut those to get those in, and then we had to cut this to make it, and it had to be, this is tucked behind there, it'll go on the outside, but we're just test fitting it right now. So of course the amplifier, and we'll kind of go over what we have happening here. So it's attached here, there's a factory bolt that's attached to here, there's another factory bolt that's attached to here, and then we put a third bolt there. Down here, this piece is attached to this, which then is remove these, and that's what attaches it to here. Back here, that is attached, so this nugget here is attached to the bottom and then screws in. So it's the opposite of that, and that's what's going to hold that bottom corner in place. And then this shelf here, there's a 1/2-inch piece you can see right there, and that is, now these are all threaded nut certs. Anytime you see those silver screws, those are threaded nut certs. So there's 2 threaded nut certs with flat screws there. So, and then there's foam underneath this, so there's about an 1/8-inch gap. This is going to be for the tweeters and the mid-range and the dash, so it's not going to get hot, okay? This is going to be for the big mid bass, so it'll breathe. So the idea is the amp will have to come off, those screws will come out, we'll put it back together, wire it all up, it'll come over here. All the power is going to go this way. This is the Stinger X fuse holder, so there's going to be a 0 gauge that comes in right here, and then this is going to come out and go into this amplifier because I want this to be the main, and then these are the 2 secondaries. There's the bus bar that joins them all together, and these will come off into here, and then come off, go down and around and into there. Factory ground points are right over here, so we're going to make our ground basically right there. And then, which you'll see tomorrow or whenever we get to that, the Virtuoso, the DRC cable it'll come down through here and plug right in, so it made it to that corner. And then we'll also have a Toshlink. We have like a 20-foot Toshlink cable that'll come out and go somewhere up front. And then this is where it kind of sucks. The 0 gauge is going to go up that side. We need to get underneath that seat there. That's where the factory amplifier is for the T-harness. So all our speaker wires are going to come up and go around and do the long way home to get over to there for that, which it's not ideal, but when we were looking, you know, the amps, the power's on that side, the signal's on this side, and it just kind of worked out that way. Sometimes you have to kind of work with the cards you get, not the cards you want. Because originally I wanted to go up this side with power, then I'm like, we're gonna have to crisscross everything. It's gonna take up way more space than necessary, and I'm just not down with that. Can I get a great 2-seat tune with a Virtuoso? I'm excited for this one. This does have an up mixer built into it of some kind, so the opportunity is there. Great is a descriptive word. Whether it's great or not, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure. So the nice thing is we really don't have to do much tuning on this because kind of thing. So it's our goal just to get it in, get the crossover set. Hola, what's up, Oscar? Get it all kind of rocking and rolling, and then anything we do, he's probably going to change, which is fine with me because he likes it his way, and I'm fine with it. That.
Crossover points, just get ready to roll. He's gonna tune it.
Gotcha. No, it's not you. It's freezing. Okay.
It's freezing, yeah.
It's
40 degrees outside, that's why.
All right. We changed Wi-Fi off, so hopefully if it was the Wi-Fi, we're not dealing with that anymore. I don't know where I left off and where it started to freeze, but I think you guys get the gist of what we got going on over there. So we'll go back over here again. Fernando's working on this door. Next, he's gonna pull the skirt, get that. You know, it's funny when you look at the foam here, because this isn't centered on the door. It covers about that much, so it's almost pointless to put this speaker there. That's why when we do our tweeter, we have to get it up. What does the Virtuoso do? The Virtuoso is a DSP, digital sound processor. It has 13 channels. Yep, it's a 13-channel DSP. So this is what's going to direct everything we need to do. So channel 1 and 2 will be tweeter. Channel 3 and 4 will be mid-range. Channel 5 and 6 will be mid-bass. This will be rear fill. And then channel 13 will be subwoofer here. It's going to go out of here into the WaveTech, out of the WaveTech into the sub-amp. This will have a bass knob as well that we have to figure out. Do you have to use all... Oh, hold on. That's a good question. Do you have to use all the channels on the DSP amplifier, more specifically on the Helix 12? No, you don't. You can use as many or... No, you don't have to use them all. You just set up the ones you want to use and move on. Most of the time, you're not using all the channels on the DSP. When you get into those bigger 12 and channel DSPs, you're just... Like... Audison is the one company that kind of thinks it through. They don't make an 8-channel, they make a 9-channel. They make a 12-channel, make a 13-channel. They always add that extra 1 channel for the subwoofer, which to me makes a lot of sense because 8 is never enough. If you want to do 3-way front, rear, and sub, that's 9. In this case, if you wanted to do, you know, you could add center into this, you could do all that kind of fun stuff. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. I like having that extra channel for the sub, or for whatever, for that matter. But on the Crowder E10, this is like double the money of the audio control, and it has it's a lot more features, and it's a when you're looking at the two software, like the audio control is pretty easy to figure out. Like if you've never done a DSP before, it's pretty easy to get through it all. This one you need to have a little bit of background to work on. It's not saying you can't, but if it's your first DSP, probably going to run into, like, it's probably going to take a minute. Let's just call it that way. Does the Virtuoso have an up mixer? Yes, it does. It does have an up mixer. Is the WaveTech similar to the Epicenter? Yes, it is. It is a form of harmonic restoration. So it has effect, width, and frequency. I don't know, like, if it's exactly, like, I don't know if it does the octave shift or not, but it's very similar to what the Epicenter does. Helix also has a feature like an Epicenter built in as well. I don't think the Audison does, which is why he's going with this. Could also be going with it because he represents it. He just wants one more piece in the car. Helix is non-bridgeable though. Yes, correct. But there again, that's not a bad thing. Like, you don't always have to bridge these things, but they're made to do what they do. And I guess that's the easiest way to say that. Sludos, what's going on? Man, I wish you guys were in SoCal. There was a couple good guys in SoCal that I follow on Instagram. How do you choose high level versus preamp? High level is going to be something above 5 volts. So typically your speaker wire outputs. And then low level is going to usually be somewhere below 5 volts, typically an RCA. And that's really what you have to look at. Now, whether you're going to use high level or low level really comes down to the situation that you're put in. So for example, in this has this giant factory radio in it, but thankfully PAC makes a Amp Pro for it, because this is the Harman Kardon system. And actually in a Dodge, it doesn't matter what system you have. The Amp Pro will go in, program the radio, and give you a set of 6 RC outputs, 5 volt, non-EQ'd, non-bass roll-off, perfectly flat, variable. So in that case, you would just RCA it. But you can also add Toshlink to the Amp Pro, and this has a Toshlink input, which is the digital light wire, as it's called, not. And we're going to plug that into this, and we're going to do it that way because he wants to go with that form. So that'll be nice. The difference, the problem with that is you don't get balance or fader, but I believe you can control it through the DRC, which is, you know, conveniently located right there in the sunglass holder. So that'll be nice. Can I use a DSR-1 with a double DIN radio? Yeah, DSR-1 is just a straight DSP. The thing you have to remember about the DSR-1 is it's 4 inputs. That's it, just 4. So, which is okay because you just need to get signal, and you really only need 1 unless you want fader. You can plug in a bass knob to it, so you can control your subwoofer volume through it if you want, or if you already have a sub amp that has a bass knob, you can still plug in a knob and program it for punch bass, which is their boomy boom button. So you could have 2 knobs, one for subwoofer level from the amplifier, and then a second one for punch bass to make the bass kind of boomy. It's basically a 1-channel sub EQ, which is kind of cool. But yeah, you can definitely do that. Hi from New Jersey. So to disable the ANC, this is really easy. There's a harness. The Amp Pro T harness comes with the ANC bypass for it. So, and there are places online I know that you can buy, like he already bought and disabled. He bought a harness online. It's just like a T harness that just goes in. But the Amp Pro T harness is designed to disable ANC. The Sub Pro from them, which is just, also comes with the ANC bypass built into it. So Dodge is easy as far as that goes. You just have to get the right part. Easier, I should say. Most of the time I only use front, left, and right. Yeah, exactly, because that's all you really need. Aftermarket receiver, a PAC Pro, and keep the factory monitor. What is your preference? Unless it's an older vehicle. I mean, if it's an older vehicle or a Toyota, I typically will replace the radio. The newer vehicle, if it's got CarPlay and does everything I need it to do, I don't mind keeping it. Most people are fine. Does the risk for floor noise go up? Yes, but most people kind of don't even know what that is, let alone care. They really, remember, car audio is always a compromise. It's always not a compromise. You're going to compromise something. Performance, sound quality. There's always going to be some form of a compromise. Even with this, we're going with an Amp Pro. It's still, it's not aftermarket. It's not dedicated preamp. It's doing the best that it can. Is it going to be perfect? No. Is it going to be really good? Extremely good. It's going to be the closest thing we can do without taking out this giant radio, which we can't do. So, and I would never want to. That just seems silly to me. So if I can keep the factory radio and get the best job that I need to do, I'm keeping the factory radio. I love the Morel 9-inch. I hope people watching realize that you need that big amp for them, not overkill. You do need a big amp. We're not doing the 9-inch in here. We're just doing 6-inch because the plastic door panel on this, way more work than necessary. Basically, I have to destroy the door panel to fit the 9-inch in here, and we really didn't want to do that. We're running high level, and what voltage can the amp see compared to RCA 5 volts? Back to that question. That honestly is one of the most important questions you have to ask yourself when doing high level input. You have to read the instruction manual to see what kind of power the high level input is capable of handling. Most not all, most amplifiers can handle up to 10 volts of input. Now, how you test for that is actually pretty simple if you have a digital multimeter and some way to create test tones. You're going to want that 40 hertz 0 dB test tone, and you're going to put a digital multimeter on the speaker with the speaker still plugged in, because you don't want it if it has some on off. Anyways, play that, turn the volume up to where it sounds the best, usually 3/4 volume or something. I mean, we'll go all the way up on it because we figure you're going to go all the way up. Unpause it, let it play, look at your voltmeter, have it set to AC, and see what that voltage is. Usually only takes about 5 to 10 seconds. It'll burst up. If you have your digital multimeter sent to min-max, it'll go right up to the max, and you want to look at that number. Most of the time, the most you're going to get out of a radio is about 8 volts, unless it's an amplified system. Then you can get 20 to 40 volts, sometimes 16. Those amplifiers or that high level to low level adapter has to be able to handle that. Like audio control, all their stuff takes 40 volts. Amplifiers, processors, stuff like that. And some of the newer amplifiers are taking a little bit more, but most still, like I said, most not all take about 10 volts. If you see anything over 10 volts, immediately switch out to a better high level to low level so you don't burn up the input of the amplifier. I'm doing a RAM. Wish I was in Florida so you could do it. I'm good. I got this one. I'm pretty good. Install the new ACX BT1 Bluetooth adapter, and I'm getting crazy interference from my phone being close to the head unit and while accelerating. Where should I start to diagnose? Ooh. That's weird. We've always put it right next to the amplifier. I don't think we've ever put it anywhere up front. Check your grounding, check your RCAs that's going off to the amplifier. Make sure those are appropriate. Make sure you got a good ground. We've always grounded it back with the amplifier, just because we're old school and I think that way. That's not necessarily the problem, but there again, grounding and RCAs is the best place to start. Also, make sure that the Bluetooth adapter isn't sitting on top of some form of body control module or anything like that. Make sure there's nothing around it. 4-car coaxial, 6.5 in a home stereo floor standing cabinet powered by a Crown amplifier. Good idea or bad idea? Wanting loud for parties? Great idea. Great idea. I used to have a guy, I've done this twice, where I used to work, AVE, when he built his home theater, we put 5 pairs of Diamond 6x9s in it, and that was our surround. So we had 6 pairs of Diamond 6x9s across the front, 2 pairs in the back, because this was back in the 5.1 days. It was super cool, sounded great. Another friend of mine built these giant, they were cabinets about the size of refrigerators, and they simply just had 4 15s, and then they just had an array of 6x9s going from the top of the cabinet all the way down to the bottom of the cabinet. And he just had Crown amplifiers stacked on top of Crown amplifiers, powering the whole thing. It was a house on stilts. He was like, dude, he lived in Georgia. He was like, dude, there's nobody around us. I can drive down the street and I can hear it. So, not a bad idea at all. If you're just looking for loud and crazy, it'll sound wonderful. Audio control epicenter you recommend? I do. I like it. I like it a lot. Which one? Right now, you still only have the one or the in-dash. Is Nando could choose would be keep the LC or get the D? He wants the D. Right? You want the D?
Yes.
He wants the D. I'm going to do it. Should it be sealed or ported enclosures? Like I said, I like ported. In my house, I have band passes, but I like ported. If you got a big enough room, I went to band passes because back when I built them, that was what all the rage was band passes. Plus, I have big 8-inch woofers in my cabinets, so I have plenty of bass coming from those. The sub bass though comes from the 2 band passes in the quarters, and it's pretty bad. It's crazy. I know. It's all right. They're the one that picked D, 6th order band pass. Yes, sure, yeah, 1 port. What's up? Front stage upgrade from here. That would be nice. For those who don't know what a front stage upgrade, it's usually a set of components, an amplifier to power those with some form of equalization or DSP, and then a subwoofer in the back, leaving the rears to their own. You can put new rear speakers in there. However, we typically leave them on the radio. That way we get the best sound we can out of the car and put all the money, the budget, into what you're actually hearing. Oscar, those Morel speakers you did in the cabinets were awesome. Yep. Will the rep car be done this week? Yeah, it has to be. We got other things to do. I'm hoping to get this. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have all the amps wired up. Fernando will finish the speakers, and then what's tomorrow? Wednesday. So Thursday morning. I'm hoping Thursday morning we're ready to wrap and tune the car. That's kind of the plan. What time is it? 4:30. I should be able to get this all apart, finish up any of the screws that aren't put in, and then start with the wiring. Probably start looking at the wiring today and then work on the wiring all day tomorrow, get it into the car and run the wires. Jacksonville, Florida in the house. What box is going in here? He ordered a box from MTI Acoustics. It's not here yet. It just came in today. So we're hoping he's gonna bring it by either later today or tomorrow morning. So that'll be nice, and you guys will be able to see that tomorrow. You think bad ground might cause my lights to dim? Typically, your lights dim because you need more battery voltage. That's it. Your current draw is more than your car can support, so your lights dim. The ground wouldn't have anything to do with it. I mean, as far as your ground at your amplifier. Now, you know, the big 3 upgrade, if your car is suffering from proper grounding, meaning, you know, you upgraded the power, you upgraded everything, and then you look underneath the hood and you got a little tiny 8-gauge wire coming off the battery for the ground, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to swap that out and put a big piece of 4-gauge in or 0-gauge in there. Definitely could help. There's no question about it. What Morel home amp did you guys have for a while? Looking to get into bookshelf speakers. We didn't have an amp. They don't make electronics for home, but we had the Hegtalar is the system that they gave us. It's a 2 tweeters and a mid-bass Bluetooth cabinet that's designed to fit into the IKEA system. You can pair up to 2 of them, so you can have a right and left stereo. We did that. That was freaking cool. It sounded wonderful. But yeah, that's the Hegtalar system. Reasonably priced, gets you into, and it's awesome. I'm interested to see what you guys come up with for the new Ford Maverick. Not a lot of space, but I'm sure the car audio community will come through. Oh, I don't doubt that for a minute. I got a 2013 Elantra with 2 Crossfire 10s and a Scar 1200.1, but they dim like crazy. I would check the ground at the battery, not at the amplifier. Check the ground at the battery and just go like that. But the thing you got to remember, it's a 1200 watt amp. The car only more than likely has an 80 amp alternator. I don't know when the last time you changed your battery is. If you're a bass head, you should change your battery every year because you're beating it up like a redheaded stepchild in a Denny's. You're just being mean to it. So replacing your battery on a regular basis is not a bad idea. Keep it nice and charged so that you can go bass head crazy. But that's it. The other thing too you got to keep in mind when you're buying these big dog affordable amplifiers like that, they didn't put a lot of technology into that. They're not efficient. They're like 1980s, 1990s style amplifiers. And back then your lights dimmed. It's just what happened. You know, more modern amplifiers, one of the things you're paying for when you buy those more modern amplifiers are more efficient, more well-built, more technology to limit that type of activity. All right, that's my thought. How about wireless connections from head unit to amplifiers so you don't need to run RCAs? If it's over Bluetooth, no thank you. I mean, I guess it could be Wi-Fi. I mean, they do it at home like the Sonance system. The problem is in a car, there's just so much stuff that makes noise. I mean, the body control modules, just everything in this car, it's moving. I don't know, man. Everything in a car just is designed to make noise. I think that's why we're still stuck in the run the RCA days. Is that going to change at some point? Probably, but I don't know if I want wireless connection in a car. As far as installation goes, yeah, sure, it'd be easier, but then I just got to figure out, like, why I'm getting strange noises from certain things. And it's like, oh, it's because I mounted the amp next to this. You know, just like the backup cameras. We can't get a backup camera to work that well. There's no way we're going to get sound to work that well. Think about that. That's true. I didn't think about the efficiency. You know, when people look at that little tiny T750.1 or the new M5 1000 that Rockford makes, that thing's putting out 950 watts, and you're running an 8 gauge to it, okay? And it puts out every bit of that, and it's pretty spectacular. Your headlights don't dim. Yeah, okay. And it's metal everywhere. It's like a Faraday cage. I switched my amp to a Moscone, but it's making a crazy hiss and a pop every time I turn on and off the car. Any ideas? Hiss is typically caused from gain. Now that could be input gain, output gain, meaning you have too much signal coming in, your gain on your amplifier is turned up too high. The pop could also be a sign of too much input gain. You know, when we were running the Sound Digital amplifier in Haley's car, the 3000 and the 5000, they don't take the 10 volts of input that the kicker does. So when that sucker turned on, it made you wet your pants because it was just way too much turn-on signal. So sometimes it's your input sensitivity is turned up too high and that causes your turn-on pop. Sometimes it's a turn-on, a sequencing issue. One thing is turning on faster than another. There's a lot of things that can cause that. I don't know. One of the things that... I'm not going to answer that one with what I want to say, but all I can say is this. Tune in tonight. Hi-Fi Vega Network. What do we call that show? Side Jag? Oh, Side Jag's the one after that. High Level Talk. Thank you. Tune in tonight. Hi-Fi. Side Jag. That's Thursday night. Jesus. I don't even know what day of the week it is, Fernando.
What are you talking about?
The hi-fi thing. Tonight is Kicker. Tonight is Kicker Unmasked. Oh my God, so much stuff going on. But anyways, back to that, answering that question. One of the things I want to talk about on Thursday night with Hi-Fi Vega is price versus performance. So tune into that. We're gonna I think cover that topic pretty in depth. I gotta text them and let them know that's what we're gonna talk about. But tonight is the 52nd show of Unmasked Live. A bunch of us are going to be on there. They threw me on at the last minute, so I said, of course, yes. Also, if any of you guys are industry, if any of you guys do this for a living and work in a shop, this weekend is the last day to enter for Installer of the Year, Salesman of the Year, Trusted Tech, Retailer of the Year. All that stuff ends this weekend. So if you've been like, I need to do this, you need to do this. You need to get it out. You need to get it done. Reminds me, don't let me forget. I got to call Arturo. It's Tuesday in the year. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. How much true power do you think an old PPI 20? I have no idea. You'd think it would put out more. Dean, what is up? Thank you for my... Oh, no problem, man. You bet. Buddy was able to do a system for $1,000 using Scar Audio equipment. Young guy, and I'm impressed with the results he got. Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. There again, if you set your expectations along with your budget and they're realistic with one another, then there's no reason. I mean, there's trust me, we've done plenty of kicker key systems, that sound amazing. And that's just a little tiny amplifier, powered subwoofer. So there's a lot you can do for a little. It's just being realistic about it and also understanding what you're going to get. Yeah. So, All right, listen, guys, that's it. Stay tuned to tomorrow. We'll take a look at how far we got on the Ram tomorrow. For those of you tuning in late, make sure you go back and watch the beginning of it, where we show you what's happening. We show you all this stuff and what's going on. Hold on. Flip the camera. There you go. So we show you everything we got going on back here so you can get a close-up view of it. That'll be a lot of fun. And with that, guys, you have a great rest of your day. This has been 5 Minutes 5 Star. Fernando.
Bye.
Bye. Just gonna make a whole bunch of noise.
No pictures at the moment, please. I'm working and stuff.
Oh yeah, and you do all the work, by the way. I just wanted to let you know that it's 100% you, and I'm just here holding the phone.
So before that was why Fernando's always in the phone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
220, 221.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
All right, guys. Here we are. We are in the home stretch of the Dodge Ram install. One of the pieces you guys have not seen yet. We didn't go on yesterday when we got it in because, well, it was yesterday, and you know things happen. Here's the box that he ordered. We're getting the T1s in. It's got the cool acrylic light here, or it's got LEDs in it and all that other fun stuff. This is an MTI enclosure. And the T1s fit. I don't know if the seats are going to close down, but hey.
He's going to have a ton of ace.
You got it. So this is, Fernando's finishing this up, making a whole bunch of noise. Good afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well from Los Angeles, California. That looks pretty. It does look pretty. I like this. They put the cup here instead on the bottom. So that's nice. Hey, from Iowa. I still got to text you back. It's just been a hectic week. But look at this Ram.
You haven't text Mike?
I have not texted Mike.
Oh my God, dude.
I know, I feel terrible. All right, let's take a look at the finished, as I like to call it, the color version. It's black and white until you add all the color, which is all the RCAs and all that fun stuff. So this is the power plant that went into it. I mean, you know, between the 48 volt battery from the factory, this is not us, this is the factory, and just all of this, it's just an amazing amount of stuff. We'll get the DSP in there. It's just an amazing amount of stuff that went into this. But let's kind of go over it real quick and take a look. All right. Now, these are not cheap RCAs like the old school yellow ones. Fernando's gonna make a bunch of noise. These are just shrink wrap over the ends of the RCAs, so I know what RCA is which, and those correspond to these. So this amp is for tweeters and mid-range. Tweeter is yellow, mid-range is red. This is for the mid-bass and the rear speakers. So regular white and gray are going to be the front mid-bass. These are going to be the rear Integra coaxial hybrids. So we have a late mid-bass, a late tweeters, a late mid-range. This plug here is for the seat, so we're waiting, and this is the USB that goes up and plugs into the amplifier. Now the cool thing about this, because it's like the fold down armrest that goes here, we have a piece of carpet that goes back over this, and which if you were on Tuesday, you saw it mocked up with that in. But the seat actually unclips and folds up, so you could still get to this, but he requested that we have the USB just attached. So we ran it down, and it's tucked up here underneath this, so you can pull it out. I just needed to get it out of the way for now. The seat is obviously going to sit on top of these. Our signal wires go over here. This cool twisted wire is our input output remote turn on, which runs up front to the Amp Pro. This is a Toshlink input, so there is a fiber cable plugged in here. Now he brought a bunch of cables, so we actually ran 2 just in case. So we already have a backup in here in case that one fails. So we just ran, we're like, well, we got 2 of them, might as well run them. So there's actually one that is zip tied up here. There, you can see the end of it right there. So that is just a backup in case something unforeseen happens. We have the Wave Tech bass restore for the sub amp. This is of course a BD1000. So because everything is so tight and so close, as you can see, the wires go in and then they come out here behind the seat belt. The power wires, this braided wire here is for this and the power wire, and they come down and they're attached to this fuse right here, this little fuse. And how we attached into that is these Stinger X fuse holders have a ton of versatility, and inside of these there's bolts. So we were able to attach a ring terminal to one of the bolts and come out of the end here with a remote turn on wire. So there's a ring terminal inside here. You can kind of see that little red wire right there that goes to a center ring terminal, and it comes through and comes out the big hole here, comes around and attaches to this fuse holder here, because there'd be no point in trying to use one of these where we only need like a 7.5 amp fuse. Very versatile fuse holders allowed us to do that, was kind of cool. This, of course, is the seat belt that's going to tuck up into the seat. We have the bridge between these. There's some flexibility here, so not that this is ever going to move, but there is some give and take there. As you see, like the ground wire disappears here, this ground wire disappears here. They go up into here, into this tunnel that attaches to the factory 48 volt system, and they come around, and we use the positiveground.com really crazy bolts to put it in. The factory grounds were right here. We were going to try to use those, but it wasn't working the way we wanted it to, so we're like, screw it. It's a great ground point because that's where they chose, so we went there with ours. We just had to obviously use those. 10 gauge subwire basically does the same thing. It pops through here, comes out behind the seat belt, and then comes down around and ends up over here. These two wires are for our enclosure. These are for the LEDs in the box, and this is for the sub. It's a 1 speaker cup. We took this plastic piece off to see if we could move the box back maybe a hair more. Comes around, 0 gauge goes. Now I will tell you, if you ever have to run wires in this vehicle, it sucks. Like, it sucks bad. If you can run 4, run 4. 0 gauge is a mess. It's very hard. There is very little room inside of these tunnels, so really the only thing that's running through this tunnel is the fiber cable, or the Toshlink cable. Everything else, there is a groove right along here, and we ended up having to use that groove on both sides. So it comes down through this rail, and then there's a step up underneath this. It comes around, and then it is to the floor, and it goes around and it comes out over there. The 0 gauge basically had to do the same thing because there's no room for it. But as you noticed, like, we'll go down flat, there's no bulge. It's nice and flat. There is some jute here that you can trim out so you keep that nice flat to the floor look, which to me is the most important thing. I don't want to rub my hand over it and feel any wiring. These trucks do suck. We had to run dual 0 gauge for our most recent. My heart goes out to you because that would suck. Fernando worked on that for a good half hour trying to get it to where he was happy with it. So that was not fun at all. So yeah, 4 gauge all the way. We probably could have ran 3 4 gauge and it would have been easier. I know. But so there's what we got going on here. All the stuff is, I don't know, just looks like a lot. And it is. We went with 2 runs of speed wire, and if you'll notice how we differentiated them, we have different color heat shrinks. So at the amplifier underneath the seat over there, as well as right here, we have the blue, we have the white, and that denoted which one was which. The blue also ran the remote turn on, and that which is coming out over here. So behind this panel, we actually removed the sheathing, undid it, pulled the remote turn on wires out, heat shrinked back over them, and that gave us these wires here. The white I like to use because remote turn on usually has blue with a white stripe, so white and blue, to me, I can interchange those. What I do on this is the white is the feed from the unit, meaning what's coming from the Amp Pro underneath the seat is attached to this white, and then the blue is running back into, and it comes into this amp and this amp. But it first loops through the DSP, because the DSP has an in and out. Remote out of this also runs up. That's what this is, and that goes into this, and then out of this off to the sub amp. The reason why we wanted to continue that on-off sequence is just in case we want to avoid any turn-on pop. So if the device gives you an in and an out, especially on a sub, use the in and an out. This may have a delay built into it. We want to make sure we have the capability of using that, because we'd hate to have these two T110s go boom every time we turn them on. That would suck. Grounds. All grounds are here, so even these two units are ground over there at that factory ground point. I think that's it. So next, we're going to get that seat into place. I still need to go to Lowe's and pick up some bolts because they sent us the wrong kit, or he ordered the wrong kit, and we just don't have the front bolts. We only have the back bolts, which really sucks. But hey, you know, life is fun that way. Are you listening to Arturo?
No.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. God, it sounds like Arturo. All right, so moving up front, we have the doors all done. Fran finished those this morning. Base controller went up here where the mirror is. Still haven't pulled off the film. We saw that the other day. Moving under here, did you do the DSP controller? Well, there you go. That's where it's at. It's up in the eyeglass holder. Thank you, Laser, for making cool pieces. Fuse holders, pretty basic, single 0 gauge. Attaches into these two nut certs that he put here, screws into place. So if you need to service the battery, just pull the two screws. This will lift up out of the way. Super simple, I guess. I don't know, maybe not. If you don't have a Phillips screwdriver, it could be difficult. Moving over into the inside, the bass knob ended up going right here next to the foot up and down pedals. And then this switch is to turn on and off the LEDs in the box, which was, you know, kind of nice. For those of you curious about where you got the accessory for that, believe it or not, there's a tap in the fuse holder. We found it because they've already put a radar detector in here. So they already went and tapped into the fuse. Your fuse box is behind this, and there is an accessory in there. Sorry. So it's easy to get to. Hey, what's up, Arturo? I think we were just talking about you. And that's it. Seats back together. Yeah, no, T-harnesses are in place. And to answer the question someone asked the other day about the ANC, the T-harness comes, when you buy the Amp Pro, it comes with the harness to bypass the ANC. This is this guy here. We didn't have to use it because he'd already put one in. So we just save it for next time, or if we do one of these and we don't have it for some reason, because it's just how life is sometimes. You think anything else, Fernando?
What's going on?
Looks almost like art. Looks almost done. All right, so he's got the subwoofer box all lined up. Grills are on. Now, for those of you who have never done anything with T1, they do come with the grills, and they are big. So
They are big.
Hi, my Hertz MPX tweeters sound harsh. S's, not bright. I'm running passives, and I've spent many hours in tuning and time alignment, minor improvement, but tweeters still harsh. Help, please.
Hurts, huh?
I mean, they're kind of a brutal tweeter. I mean, it's not the smoothest tweeter. But with that being said, where do you have them mounted? If they're up in the corner of the dash, could be an issue. Believe it or not, just for giggles, try putting like a dish towel over the top of them and see if that helps.
Where is the crossover has 0 dB, -3
On the Hertz?
in the Hertz. So check that. You might have to, jump
down?
one down. So maybe that helps.
Yeah.
So
now, if they are in the door or something like that, you can still just kind of drape a towel over it just to see if that helps. Sometimes you just kind of need to put a filter on there to alleviate some of that. Otherwise, if you don't have a DSP, start saving for a DSP.
for sure. Yeah.
Dean, will you have time to call me about my ramp tonight? No. Actually, it'll have to probably be next week because I'm busy every night. I have something going on every night this week. Yeah. Kind of sucks. But yeah, I'll put you on. I'll call you.
I'll put you on the list.
Yeah, I'll call you. I know. I'm sorry, Mike. We'll get it figured out. Hello, gentlemen. Jennifer says hi. Hey. Great rocker video. I like how the CEO didn't bite his tongue. No, you can. No.
Yeah.
Bill Jackson. For those you don't know or haven't found out yet, we interviewed Bill Jackson, who is the president and CEO of Rockford, and it went up the other day. And if you haven't had an opportunity to watch it, I strongly recommend you watch it.
Yeah.
You get a very candid look at the guy who is running the company. He does not pull any punches at all. None. It is, to me, one of the best interviews we've had the opportunity to do. He was a great guy to talk to. We learned a ton about the company, about him. To me, it was, like I said, it was one of the best interviews we've ever done. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, please, I strongly recommend. It's not a long interview. It's like half hour, I think.
Yeah.
Probably. But it's, and there again, it's mine, so it's all, we got to the point. No jump cuts, no pauses, just a lot of good information about the company, how he started, where the company is headed, things that our company are doing. If you listen to it and read between the lines, you'll kind of get a focus of what the company has coming. For us in the 12-volt community, we do talk a lot about the successes they've had in other fields, such as motorcycle and motorsport, but you got to watch it. It's a wonderful thing. And if you haven't watched the one with Gary, is it Gary?
No, it's Greg Hobbs.
Why did I say Gary?
I don't know.
Because it starts with
Greg
a G.
Hobbs.
Greg Hobbs, Mr. SPL, Mr. World Champion.
Yep. Definitely.
That was awesome. That was, to me, was the funnest interview we did. We learned the most from Bill, but Greg was fun to do.
As the CEO, I mean, we learned tons.
But those two interviews are up now. And like I said, if you haven't had a chance to watch them, I strongly recommend it. They're really good. They're really fun. And I'm not just saying that because we did them. It was a blast. Now, if you're into interviews, also make sure you head over to the Old Fashioned Car Stereo podcast.
Yeah.
Done by Gary Bell and Matt Schaefer.
Yep.
This week is my show. I had the pleasure of sitting down with them a couple months back, and it's a really long show.
So buckle up.
Buckle up, sit back, and prepare.
Grab something to drink. Snacks.
Because it's like a 3-hour show.
It's an Avenger movie.
It's beyond an Avenger movie, but it's really. I had a blast doing it. I haven't had a chance to sit back and listen to it. My buddy Arturo, that's on here, he sat and watched it the other day. Immediately texted me and said, "Dude, that was an awesome interview." And I was like, okay, cool. So definitely check that out. And of course, tonight is Thursday night, which means head over to the Hi-Fi Vega channel where we'll be doing Reverse Polarity. It's a very serious show, for sure. It's probably the most serious car stereo show out there. But tonight we have an awesome topic that I'm not going to tell you about just because I want you to tune in and listen to it. I'm excited about this topic because it's kind of one of the things that irritates me a lot in car audio, and we're going to talk about it tonight. So if you like to listen to me get all upset about something, tonight's probably the night to do it. But yeah, definitely tune in tonight to that. And of course, Side Jag after that, we review the movie Snake Eyes. If you haven't seen it yet, don't worry. We're not going to spoil it too much because it's G.I. Joe. Let's be honest. You guys all know the story there. But definitely tune in for that. Tomorrow is Friday. God, we're pimping a lot of stuff. There's just a lot of stuff going on. Tomorrow is Friday, so make sure you tune in the morning to Dean and Fernando's Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips. We have the news. We'll tell you what's going on in the industry, all the fun stuff like that. So tune in tomorrow on that channel. Also, Friday night, tomorrow night, the reason why I can't call Mike back is because on MEA Mag on Facebook, if you're part of that group, if you follow them on YouTube, anything MEA, which is the guys that are doing the industry awards, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Which you can find links to it on all their social medias. We will be doing a Q&A show. The awards are in. And you got till Sunday. So if you're a professional and you want to enter either Sales Pro, Trusted Tech, Sales Pro, installer, retailer, new guy, any of that stuff, you have till Sunday night at midnight to enter. Dude, there again, talked to Arturo on here. What was it, like Tuesday? Called him Tuesday. He's like, I think I'll do it this weekend. I said, no, man, don't do it this weekend. Go home,
do it now.
Sit down, read the questions, write down the answers, put the phone in front of your face, read what you wrote. Done.
He did it.
He did it that night. I was blown away. And he sent me the link. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet just because we've been insanely busy. My nights have been comprised of editing the Rockford video. It's coming. It's going to be long. It's the only video you may get next week.
That's what she said.
I know. And I need to get it done because the longer I have to spend on this, I need to get the IRTA stuff done. So we're probably going to hit a lull here at some point where I'm just not going to be able to make videos because I need to get these two things off my plate. We still have SEMA. We still have the Kenwood road trip. So there's a lot happening, and there's not a lot of time to get it done. And, of course, Christmas is coming. The holidays are coming. I'm bitching right now. I apologize. Great for video. I liked how the Yep. Okay. Let me scroll up. I paused. It paused. I wish I was good enough for that.
No, you're not good enough.
Yeah, whatever, rookie. You better have entered, you putz. If you haven't, I'm gonna drive to Texas. I'm gonna fly to Texas. I ain't driving nowhere. I'm gonna pop you in the back of the head. I'm just walk up and be like smack. Because if Arturo can do it at night, when do you sleep? Dude, let me tell you what, we were talking about it earlier today. It's like as the week goes on, it gets harder and harder to function because, like, it just does. I don't get enough sleep, and it's really starting to take a toll. I'm starting to notice the closer I get to 50. But, oh well. Hey, life in the fast lane.
You sign up for this crap.
I did not sign up for this crap. But, hey, you just want to make everybody happy. It's totally a fruitless adventure. It is 10:30 p.m. here in the Netherlands.
Ooh.
See, if it was 10:30 here right now, I'd be done with all my stuff and be going, all right, let's go set up for the news. Get that ready. God. But thank you for tuning in. Snakes on a Plane.
It's all right.
Snakes on a Plane is so bad. Good luck to the people running for the Installer of the Year. Man, like I said, we're obviously not entering it this year because we're on the committee that is updating it and making it new and making it fun. Everybody that had anything to do with it previously is gone. Mm-hmm. So it's not ours by any stretch of imagination. We're just on, board members, volunteers, whatever it is. And, I said yes to this because I want to make sure personally, and so does everybody else on the committee. We got a bunch of good guys. We want to make sure that everyone gets a fair shake, everyone has a good experience, and that, we're trying really hard to make sure that it is the best industry awards that has ever happened. This is the first year that we've had the ability to do it or be part of it in this way. Next year is going to be better. The year after that will be better. We just have a lot of stuff going on. Man. And if for those of you guys that are in Dallas and you want to go to Dallas Knowledge Fest, that's the 10th of December. Really? That week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. We're not going to be there because we've been told we can't travel anymore this year by our families.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But we'll be back in February to do it some more. Vegas, baby.
Maybe I will run one.
But that's what we got going on. That's what's happening in the Dodge. We have one more day with this. Once we get done with you, we're going to plug everything in, turn it on, start updating the DSP, going through all that fun and excitement. And then he'll be in tomorrow morning to pick it up, and we'll probably sit in the car for hours on end. And I'll play with the software while he's sitting there because that's just the kind of guy Mike is.
Yeah.
And I'm punking him right now because he's going to watch this and he's going to be like, whatever.
You're talking crap right now.
Yes. If you guys don't go, I ain't going either. Whatever. Jeff already told us he's flying in to help you. So.
Oh yeah, and then you have that car, man. You gotta finish it.
Best remote start alarm for a '93 Mustang. I mean, honestly, you could probably just go on eBay and find something from the '90s, and it'll work.
Are you guys going to do a video on the new audio control Bluetooth?
We haven't done that. The AC BT1?
Yeah, I know. We installed it, but we never did a video. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize we hadn't done one, but yes, that'd have been an easy one to do. We can put it in the lab. We'll talk all about it. Good call. We'll add that to the list of stuff. We got our sound.
The list right now is like
ground
3,432.
Well, they found my Ground Zero amplifier that I broke, so we'll get to finish that video here at some point. I'm not even thinking about that right now, but I am, because that's what I do. That's
how long do you work in this Dodge?
We started on it Monday.
5 days. It's gonna be 5 days.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 5 days.
I have a lousy start. Still at home. Someone that's for the night. Nice. Y'all have a good night. We're probably going to try it. Doubtful we will, but we'll give it a go. Thank you for the kind thoughts there. I think that's it. I think we're going to go because I want to get this thing turned on before we get out of here, and the clock is ticking away.
Yes.
So we will talk to you guys tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's 9 a.m. over on Dino Fernandez Car Stereo Clips. We got the news. We got a lot to talk about. We can't wait. We'll see you guys then.
Oh, you're welcome, man. You're welcome, Bobby.
Fernando, thanks for the pics. Oh, wait, hold on. Dean, please help. You mentioned you use a ACR1 over ACR3 bass knob. Can you elaborate? I currently have a D61200 and the LC1500.1. Yes, if you get the ACR1 remote, you can plug it into the 1500. When you're in the software for the D61200, you just don't select any bass knobs or anything like that, and that's really all it is. You come out of the D61200, that output to the sub amp, and everything is fine. Because remember, it doesn't come with, neither one of them come with a bass knob. You got to buy it, so it doesn't matter which one you use. The difference between the two is that the one is just a subwoofer volume control, which I like because I don't need push buttons, presets, or any of that other fun stuff happening. I just want to have subwoofer volume control. Most people don't want presets, so I don't want the opportunity for them to accidentally goof something up. So that's why we choose that one over the 3. If you want presets, then go with the 3. They will both work the same as far as controlling the subwoofer volume. Plug it into the sub amp, and that's it. That's all we got. I hope that helps. You guys have a great rest of your night. See you guys tonight over on the High Five Vega Network. Fernando.
Bye, guys.
Bye. What's that?
I just charged my laptop.
Oh, let's see. Where do you need to go? You going home? Can we get out of here?
Yes.
Which scissors are these?
No.
Oh, these are the tape scissors.
Yep.
I'm like, why are they? I had to use tape, which I'll show you what we did. We solved the seat problem.
What seat problem?
You know how the seats were sitting on the subs?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you cut the whole thing?
No, I didn't have to cut anything. Here, let me bring you. I'll show you. Good day, everyone. The Ram is done. It's going home. Here, grab that. So here's the box. Oh, hold on. I'll move his. That's his laptop that we use to tune it. Not that we don't have our own, but because he's going to be playing with it extensively, we wanted to make sure we used his laptop to set it all up. Normally we wouldn't do that, but you know, hey, he's the rep. So no, what we had to do. So with these giant grills on here, as you can see, these things are fabulously large, and they're like that because you need to travel, so you don't have the subwoofer. But what was happening is that it was not giving us any room here. So they have these bump stops on the seat. So we added 1/2-inch bump stops to it. And so now it doesn't sit on top of the subwoofers. We have a nice bunch of room there. Pretty cool, right? Right? And then they don't move because like we don't have to worry about the seat sliding back and forth and them falling off because that part of the seat doesn't move. So like even if you were doing like a shallower box, adding a 1/2-inch bump stop to the bump stops would have jacked the seat up just a little bit. So little trick, pulled one out of the proverbial rabbit out of the hat. But the box is in. It has a blue LED in it, which we found out.
Yes.
Let me turn it on and I'll show you. Hit the button here. Is it on?
No.
Let me hit the button again. What about now? Oh, key fob not detected. Do you have the key in your pocket, Mike?
Yeah.
That would be why. Yeah, I just need to turn the car on. We need to get you on the show again. You haven't been on the show in like years.
I'll leave it to my vehicle.
What's that? You'll leave it to your vehicle? Oh, give me a break. Come on. That was a great show when you were on. All right, we got lights?
Yeah, we got lights.
Okay. So it has the cool blue lights. I was going to say it's got light. And the way the woofers sit is you can see that cool jumper that was in there and also what make and model they are. So that actually looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Back it up. You can get the All right, it kind of blacked out there for a second. Let me go back and I'll give you the wide view. So there you go. It's a wide view of what that looks like. No sound. Oh, it's back. Okay, sound's back. All right, sorry about that. Oh, I was gonna say don't do that. Turn that off altogether. So you have the view of the motor and whatnot, and those cool connectors that we talked about on Monday. If we come back, you have that. And then with the bumps, we get a lot. There you go. And so there it is. Everything turned out pretty nice. Fold that seat up for a second. Turn that light back on, please. Please, kind sir. So with the seat in place, we have plenty of room. When the seat folds down, it sits just above this, and that is back far enough to where these RCAs, you can still stick your hand in there. Nothing is resting on that. But from there, you can kind of get a feel for how fun that was. There's just so much stuff. The nice thing about this seat, though, is that it does slide forward and you can unclip it, so we can still get to all these stuff on the back side of it. So everything is like really easy to get to, and I like the way Dodge did this back seat as far as serviceability for us. All right, let me shut off the dinging sound because that's going to drive me nuts. Oh, thank you. How's the cooking on those amps? No, and there again, we don't have to worry about them really getting hot. The bottom amp is running the tweeter in the mid-range, so there's really nothing going on there. And the top one that has plenty of airflow is for the mid bass and the rear doors. So no heat issues, nothing's gonna, and there's actually a gap. You can kind of see that dark line there, that's a gap between the amplifiers. And remember, the heat sinks go around the back side of the amplifier, so there's nothing there there's nothing there preventing the flow of air. So that's kind of nice. That's nice. But it's done. I'm happy. It gets to go home. Right?
Yes.
Oh, come on, man. We did not build this box. This is an MTI Acoustics box. The turn-ons, we started this on Monday. So it was done last night and tuned it this morning. And then the owner, Mike, our rep, came in and him and I did some final tweaking on it. He, of course, is going to go full crazy on it later, but we just got it to a point to where he can break it in and have fun with it. How does one install a system in an electric car like a Tesla? It depends on the Tesla you have, but it's not easy. It's not fun. Well, I guess it's just relative. Depends on the Tesla that you're looking at too. Like the new Plaid has a 15-volt system that apparently isn't all that exciting. Rumor has it that some people have done it using audio control amps because they'll take that kind of voltage. But yeah, it's easy. There you go. Oscar's got one. Hopefully Oscar will do a whole build vlog on how he integrated into his Tesla. I'm assuming you need external batteries. We really don't get a lot of them in. What's that?
Efficient amps.
Oh, efficient amps too. That's definitely the way to go. Sup, dudes? Sup? Yeah, Oscar's working on his Tesla now. You can get a hold of them. They're in Texas at Jay's Car Audio and Tint. Hey, I got it right. Love the reverse polarity last night, Dean. Nothing worse than trying to explain to someone who expensive car audio is. Yes. Yeah, no doubt. It's no fun. How do you feel about that topic?
What's that?
Like trying to explain to people the relevance of the price that things cost.
Oh, especially today.
Yeah.
When containers cost $26,000 to get from China to here, when they used to cost 4 or 5.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
But so, are you happy?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good.
Always happy with the fine work.
Oh Jesus.
Darn car stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I should say, I'm very happy with Fernando's work.
There you go.
Because he does all the work.
Yes, it's true. I'm just here to hold the phone and talk to people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great. Sounds great. It'll sound even better.
Yeah, once he gets and has fun with it. That's it. We just wanted to come on and wrap this up, show you what it looked like with the box in the car. If you're interested in one of those boxes, hey, Dean, any Million Pros? No, they're not. I mean, there again, it's up to you. Show you what the box looks like in it. Today's Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. We did the news this morning, so if you didn't catch the news, make sure you go watch that. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. What's the best unit to use to connect a Ford Mustang factory radio to an aftermarket amp? DSR1. DSR1 with the AF02, unless it's the Sony, which they don't have. So it's going to be a DSR1 with DF02. You want the DF02 with the DSR1. That makes it super cool, super easy. And with that, guys, we're going to end it there. Looks good. Thank you. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.